How many people here have bought or are involved in cryptocurrency at all? All right, a few people. So maybe just to sort of set the scene, BTC Corp is doing a pre-IPO capital raising. Our mission is to build a future crypto bank, and we're really just at the starting point of that, and really focusing on the payment infrastructure at this point. So what I'll do, I'm not going to go through all the presentation. It's quite a detailed preso. I am actually at booth number 5 with one of my colleagues, Matthew, and more than happy to sort of talk a bit more about it. So at a high level, we've been running for 5 years, and we started in Australia. We're now expanding into a number of offshore territories, including Europe, UK, and Canada. And our whole mission in life is to make it really simple for consumers to buy crypto. I think we've got a small problem. Oh, there we go. So in the Australian marketplace, we own the bitcoin.com.au brand, and that's, in our view, quite an important, quite an important objective from a customer perspective. It helps us from a search engine optimization perspective, but it also helps in terms of trust. And we don't just sell bitcoins, and there'll be a further slide to talk about that. As part of the process of how we actually make it simple for consumers to buy crypto, given that it's still very new for a lot of customers, is that we not only allow all the standard digital payment methods, we've now just signed a deal with Australia Post, an exclusive deal, whereby as a consumer you can, on your phone, say I want to buy $500 worth of crypto. You go into an Australia Post store, you scan your QR code, hand over the cash. 5 minutes later, you've got the crypto sitting in your wallet. As well as that, if you're brand new to crypto, what we find, a third of our customers actually, for their first transaction, want to actually physically go somewhere and hand over the cash. It's just a way of in effect, building that trust. And this Australia Post deal took us about 2 years to put together. As I mentioned, the long-term objective is to build a crypto bank, and we're really just starting with the payment infrastructure. We currently allow payments in AUD, Euro, GBP, and Canadian dollars. And as you can see, with a number of the ticks there, we're already offering an ability to buy an OTC desk, as well as through our B2B services, and I'll talk more about that further on. We've had quite significant growth. That big spike that you see is December 2017. I think some people may recall that. That was the 20,000 US price of Bitcoin. Obviously, the market in 2018, we're just now starting to come out of crypto winter. I think sort of early 18s, price was around 3,500 USD. It's now back to around 8. So the crypto winter has certainly thawed. As I mentioned, we started in Australia. That's our longest serving market. We've now just recently launched into the UK and Canada in the last 5 months, and we're just about to launch into Europe next quarter, which in effect increases our total addressable market significantly. As you know, Australia's only got a population of about 24 million, and the markets that we're moving into have population sizes many, many times larger than that. Part of the way of how do we actually grow our revenue, other than launching into new markets, it will be continuing to add new coins to our portfolio, and that's something that we're continually evolving. As well as that, there's a B2B opportunity as well. So we're working with a number of global exchanges in plugging in our payment infrastructure and technology that we've built to allow them to effectively onboard customers with a fiat on-ramp. Just by way of example, KuCoin late last year took a strategic stake in us specifically because they wanted to get access to our payment network on a global basis. And in fact, we're talking to a number of other exchanges as part of this capital raise. I'd expect us to be able to bring on a number of other exchanges who want to use our payment infrastructure. The team is located both across Melbourne as well as Sydney. and Amsterdam. And as I said, we started in Australia and we're now moving on a global basis. And I'm happy to sort of have it sit down with you later on today. By the end of this year, the objective is to list on the Toronto Stock Exchange. We've already started the process, and I'll talk more about the cap raise in a moment. And the reason we've decided on listing the company, we've identified a number of acquisitions in the space, and being listed will help facilitate those acquisitions. Access to further capital, as well as the ability to use our scrip, our equity, to help fund some further acquisitions. This next slide just gives a bit of a pathway in regards to the listing. So right now we've got a capital raising that we're in the process of completing. Next month we'll finally appoint our advisors for the TSX, and then list by Christmas this year. I'm not going to go through the financials. The business has been profitable, since inception. The last 12 months we've been running at a loss because we've in effect rebuilt our whole technology stack. We've spent many millions of dollars in rebuilding. We don't capitalise any of our dev, and hence the loss. But in effect, the business has a history of actually being quite profitable. As I mentioned before, KuCoin, who's one of the top exchanges out there, took a strategic stake in us late last year as part of this capital raising, and that's just purely because they want to get access to our fiat to crypto payment rails across AUD, Canadian, GBP, and Euro. In terms of the raise, we're raising 2.2 US on a pre-money val of 14. In fact, we've only got 800k left of the raise, so we've done, I think, about 70% of that already, and we expect that have that completed by the end of June. We've got full DD room available. In fact, we're investor ready. In fact, we could be listed tomorrow just because I've been involved in numerous public company listings before, and so there's a particular process that we're going through. So that's basically the high level. I've got 2 odd minutes. If there's any questions, feel free to raise your hand. Yes, sir.
How do your fees compare to competitors and the other companies out there?
Yeah, so the fees are actually very competitive. So from an OTC perspective, if we're doing high dollar value trades, it's usually zero commission. We make money on the spread. And in the Australian marketplace, from a retail perspective, fees are anywhere from 3 to 5%, which is the industry average. So we're actually quite competitive in all the key markets that we operate in. And I think one of the important points is we make it really, really simple for new customers to start buying Bitcoin or Ethereum. And that's really the gateway into the whole crypto space, both in terms of standard digital bank transfers as well as the physical distribution network. And as I mentioned before, 1/3 of all of our new customers prefer to actually go to a physical location because, crypto, Bitcoin, there's a lot of misinformation out there. And so physically going to a newsagent or an Australia Post store, which is quite trusted, and handing over the money, just in effect helps build that trust with our brand.
The biggest issue, I work in the space a little bit, but the biggest issue is... well, first off, I didn't see USD on there. You're not going to cover USD?
We're not going to cover USD, no. Not at this point. Or sorry, we'll allow USD transactions, but we're not targeting the US market for numerous reasons.
But you'll have US conversions, so you can convert?
Yeah, we can.
Oh, okay. The biggest issue, getting back to the main question, biggest issue is getting out. Liquidating the crypto back to fiat. That's the biggest issue for most people.
Correct. And this is one of the other reasons that KuCoin and others have taken a strategic stake in us. So we not only offer on-ramps, fiat to crypto on-ramps, we also offer crypto to fiat off-ramps across those 4 currencies I've mentioned. So if you've got crypto and you want to liquidate into AUD, GBP, Euro, Canadian, we can actually facilitate for you as well. And that's taken us over 5 years to find and build the right banking relationships. We're regulated from an AML KYC perspective as well. I'm actually out of time. So booth number 5, happy to sort of spend any time with you. I've got this in digital copy, in digital as well, so feel free to come and see me. Thanks very much, everyone.